Hey, it's Dennis from Make Your Film, and today, very simple Make Your Film. It's about feeding your crew. And I've made this one before, but I think it's important to remember that if you're making a student film, you're doing a short film, you're doing a documentary about some pressing issue that everyone's contributing and helping you, and la. You're doing your thesis, you're making a small film, you're doing a commercial for your own company, you're doing a big commercial, little commercial. It doesn't really matter what you're shooting. You got to feed your damn crew, and you got to feed them good. This is the secret. Look, if you're hiring people for nothing to work on your damn film, feed them. Get them some really good food. And if you can't afford to cater it, make the food the night before. And me and my wife have done this before on small budgets. We make a baked ziti with meat and a baked ziti without meat. We pre-bake them the night before so that we can heat them up the next day. So you're serving hot food for lunch. It's quality. It's not garbage. And you're delivering something to your people. You know, make them a Caesar salad to go with it and throw some cookies in for dessert. And you've served lunch. And you've also saved time, because if you can serve your crew on set, give them warm food in most cases, unless it's oppressively hot out, it's unbelievable. People are happy. They got something in their belly. Everybody takes a sigh of relief and they settle back in for the afternoon's work. You have to approach this as not only a practical thing, but a human thing. It's part of the human experience. You know, we all wake up, we all do what we do all day. We have to eat and interact with people and so on, and then go to bed at night. So it's part of our process, our circadian rhythm, you might say. So I encourage everybody to look at food. And if you're working a multi-day shoot, mix it up. You know, you can sneak in Chinese food once in a while, but Chinese food and pizza, poof, you're going to get made fun of on the crew. Because these crews work hard. You know, if they're working an 8-hour day, they got to drive to get there. They show up, they work an 8-hour day, and they actually work doing crazy stuff that you dreamed up because you want to get your shot. And then you feed them lunch, and then they go back and they do more crazy work, and then they pick up, and then they have to head home again. So, you know, working in this business is hard. Make sure you feed them well and appreciate them. And for God's sake, if you are running a small crew or a small production, eat last. Do not go get any food until everybody else has eaten. I know that sounds obvious to most people, but boy, I've seen this before where, you know, the producers that own the company are in there chawing down their food, and they're running out of meat over at the catering stand, you know. Now, serving breakfast is a little more complicated, and I don't think you really have to do that. Depends on the size of your budget and what you're expecting out of your crew. If you're expecting a 15-hour day, yeah, I might feed them breakfast and lunch and have something light for dinner. And a light dinner, you can pepper in some pizza, but boy, I'll tell you, pizza and Chinese food flag everybody's red flag for you being a cheapskate. The only way I've gotten around it with Chinese food is to order it like it's catered. So you get a tray full of chicken satay and a tray full of something else. And at least it looks like catered food and everybody feels good and so on and so forth. It's just the little things in life that make it memorable. Because if you don't feed them, or you feed them crappy food, they're going to remember that. So you pick what they remember. But for the most part, you're the one with the dream. You're the one trying to get the great shot and all the awards or the money or the contract or the blah, blah, blah. You got to feed them. You got to feed them, and you got to figure out how to do it right. Now, during the day, the craft service has evolved. I put out a lot less candy. I put out fruit. I put out energy bars, protein bars, things like that. I try to make sure that I have constructive, positive foods, nuts and so on, but not, you know, just a bunch of candy like there used to be back in the day. For the most part, I like to make sure there's plenty of beverages on set. Certain people have certain beverages. We had a guy down south when I worked in New Orleans. He had to have Mountain Dew. You had to have it. You had to have it, or he wouldn't even talk to you. Now, I'm a coffee guy myself. I could care less about soda, but we'll have seltzer, we'll have water, we'll have juice, and so on and so forth. And you try to keep it fresh and iced down because, again, people are busy, they're working for you, and you want them to be able to get a beverage, stop for a second, breathe, and move on. So make your film, makeyourfilm.net. I've got a website. I do coach people on how to do stuff like this, but for the most part, most of the stuff I offer is free, and there's lots of free links at my website. And for God's sakes, go out and make your film. There's never been a better time to make a film or do anything in this crazy business. So make your film, makeyourfilm.net. And if you want to check up on what I'm doing a TV show, Best Band America, bestbandamerica.com. You can see me on YouTube at Best Band in America. And we'll see you. Make your film.